Welcome to IES Rock Honors. It is Enter the Paradox. How are you?
I'm doing great.
And you are?
I'm Brian. I play guitar and sing in Enter the Paradox.
How's it going? My name's Reed. I play drums. Enter the Paradox.
How's it going? Ben. Play bass. Enter the Paradox.
My name's Taylor. I play guitar and do backing vocals and run around on stage like an animal for Enter the Paradox.
Wow, great set, guys. What an important day. You got the Rock Honors. You're getting in a minute. There's going to be members of Jane's Addiction, System of a Down, Rob Zombie, Deep Purple, everybody gracing this incredible event. In past years, we've had Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Megadeth, Pink Floyd. Man, I can't even remember everybody that's been here, but super, super event. You guys are part of history today. Tell us about who your influences were. Who growing up really got you excited about making music?
For me, without a doubt, is definitely Blink-182. Like, I wouldn't be playing guitar if it wasn't for Tom. I wouldn't be playing drums if it wasn't for Travis, bass, Mark. So that was a really huge influence for me. Like, Muse is a huge influence for me, and like the writing with Enter the Paradox. As well, I listen to a lot of like metal and hardcore as well. So like Between the Buried and Me, Dillinger Escape Plan, a lot of bands like that.
Wow. Well, I hate to tell you, but Travis's studio is right behind those trees right there.
Why do you hate that?
Travis Barker's studio is right there.
Do I freak out an hour later?
Man, just go by and pay your respects, man. That's where it goes down, right there.
All right.
But yeah, great stuff. How about you? Who were your biggest influences?
Oh my God. Well, right off the bat, Danny Carey, hands down. Hands down, Danny Tool. Yeah. Stuart Copeland, huge influence as well. I mean, lately I've been doing a lot of Blake Richardson, Between the Buried and Me, Thomas Pridgeon. You know, he's a freelance drummer. That guy, his time signatures are insane, and huge influence on me. Let's see, what else? Bjork, of all things. Love Bjork. I don't know why, but her brain works in a way that's
important to have wide taste, you know?
Exactly. So, yeah, that's about it for now.
I love it.
That's what I'm
and how about you?
My influences, they're kind of eclectic. It started, my neighbor gave me an AC/DC CD, the Back in Black CD, and it just kind of took off from there. And then from there, I got a Green Day CD, and then I realized it could be a little poppier. And then, believe it or not, I got one of Eminem's albums, and it just kind of opened my eyes to just all different styles of music. And from there on, I went from everything. From now, I'm all about B.B. King. Love his stuff. I like some of the underground screamo stuff, some of the hardcore punk stuff like Terror, Beartooth. So it raises the spectrum. I'm a big Katy Perry fan.
That's right.
So,
There we go.
Sing it loud, bro.
She's got it going on.
Shout it.
But yeah, it's all over the map. But that's generally how it started.
From B.B. King to Katy Perry, I love it.
From B.B. King to Katy Perry.
There we go. From Eminem to Blink-182. How about you?
For me, it started probably with Green Day. Like almost 20 years ago, probably like 20 years ago when Dookie came out and I got it. And that pretty much like set me on the path that I've been on like for the last 20 years. But mainly like in recent years, well, everything kind of changed. I saw a hardcore band called Bane play years ago. And what? Shut up, you guys. Hardcore punk really has been like one of the main like styles and focuses for me like lately, or at least in the last couple of years, as far as the bands I've been playing in. I listen to everything. I love Lady Gaga.
That's right.
I love Taylor Swift. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
No.
Hell no, man.
I'm not ashamed to admit it.
22.
Punk rock and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
22.
You've been to a few Warped Tours, maybe?
Yeah, you know, I hadn't been in like 6 or 7 years, and I went back this year just to sort of relive, and it was, you know, I forgot how much fun it could be, but also how, like, every year that I get older, I'm just, like, not suited for Warped Tour as much anymore, but, you know, for a lot of reasons, but, no, yeah, it's a good time. Hardcore punk. Pop. I'm a sucker for a pop melody.
So. Yeah, of course.
I've like officially retired my hardcore dancing days.
That's
like,
not
I just can't hang anymore.
That's actually not true.
That is so not true.
I've seen it happen.
Well, you know, we're here. Kevin Lyman was here last year. We're celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Warped Tour. Kevin Skyped in yesterday. You know, he's taken a well-deserved vacation, the first of many years. If you've survived the Warped Tour 1 year, you can only imagine what 20 of them are like.
Yeah.
Kevin, hats off to you, brother. We love you.
Right.
You know, he's all behind the independent side of things. What's exciting these days, of course, is the opportunity to be able to make music easier, put your music out, make videos, put your videos out, you know, and grow your buzz. Then you can find other companies that might want to do business with you. So all that is really, you know, an opportunity for you to, you know, be in business for yourself and then kind of grow your team.
That's what we're all about.
What do you like about that?
Well, I just like that. I feel like the days of like the major labels, you know, controlling the music business as it is, like those days are kind of ending, and like indie labels are coming in now, and also bands are doing it yourself a lot more. And you know, one thing that's always attracted me about music is the freedom of self-expression, the ability to be creative without having like some major label producer come in and be like, okay, we're just gonna make this more pop. Like that's a big stand that I want to make for Enter the Paradox, of not doing that, of not just settling for selling singles. That's not what we're about, and that's not why I started playing music. There's nothing wrong with having singles, but to do it for the pure purpose of only that, you know, it's not why I started playing music. So I'm all about like, you know, doing what it takes to be successful, but at the same time not compromising my integrity.
That's great. Well, it's so important, you know, to be able to, you know, build your creativity, you know, without all these companies pulling at you. You got to sound like this. You got to dress like that. You got to do this. You know, and I think that's one of the most important things is the freedom. The freedom to be able to convey what's in your heart and in your mind to your fans without all these gatekeepers and filters that are going to water it down, change it up, and then after a while you're like, man, that wasn't even what I was thinking about in the first place.
Well, that's why we're glad I was doing like IES around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's awesome, you know. Hopefully we'll see you guys again next year, and plug in, man. There's so many great speakers and people in the industry. Why is it important for musicians to learn about the business rather than just play?
Well, man, these days especially, and everything's social media. You know, everybody, you know, from a young age is learning all these new recording techniques and stuff like that. You know, actually, Brian's been teaching me a lot about you know, the business side of things, a lot about the recording process. You know, I just started playing drums. That's all I did for the longest time. You know, and I'm really starting to kind of get into the other side of things. You know, and I mean, it's important just because, like you were talking about, you know, a minute ago, it's I don't know, the independent sector is the way to go. You know, all these big labels, they don't have a hold anymore. You know, everybody can put out whatever they want, whenever they want.
Well, it's a tragedy when you see a major label take like a new band, like, and then they do a record with them, and then one of the guys at the label can just say, hey, we're not going to put this out, and shelve them. I mean, that's a line that I'm just not willing to cross. I'm sure you guys aren't either. I mean, like, we came here to play music.
See, one of the worst things that could ever happen is you're doing music for fun, you're growing this huge buzz, the label wants to work with the band, and then all of a sudden it doesn't become fun anymore because they're messing around with what you're all about. They're basically, it's so corporate at that point, like you say, they could just put you on a shelf and then you're in complete limbo. It's like, are we a band? Are we moving? Is the album coming out? And they're just telling you, just kick back. We'll let you know if and when.
Yeah.
You know, and that I've seen so many bands have this meteoric rise. They get signed, and it's all over. They end up breaking up because it's not fun anymore. It's like, what happened? We were in control of our own destiny, and now we have no control. We have no ownership.
Yeah.
We're a line item in a printout, you know, of a catalog. You know, and that's something you definitely want to avoid.
Absolutely.
That's the big thing. Is like the first thing I noticed when I entered the Paradox was just
when I entered the
Paradox was how fun it was. I had never been in a band that was just fun. Like, I mean, we get down to business when we practice. We take our time. We do all this stuff. I mean, the man behind the songs is obviously he's like a freaking genius.
Yeah.
But it's fun. We all get along. There's respect, and we're all on the same page, just mentally and, you know, emotionally. I know that sounds weird, but emotionally, you guys kind of got to be on the same page too as a band.
Of course, got to be a team.
Yeah, you got to be a team, and you got to be there for each other. And we're always there for each other. We talk every day, even when we're not practicing. Yeah. So
kind of like a sports team. You know, if you're not coordinated, something's going to go wrong. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's incredible. Now, what is the most important thing as far as learning the business to you? You know, because we've heard for years of musicians being taken advantage because they know the business. Oh, I'm just a drummer. I'm just a bass player. I just play guitar. I leave all that to somebody else, and then they find out later, like somebody else owned all their music, somebody else put their name on their copyrights and all that.
That hits home kind of close for me, actually. Well, just because it's really important to learn the business, even if like, unfortunately at this point, I mean, it's getting to the point in the music business now where it has become so much easier to actually like release your own music and get it heard. But if you're a relatively unknown band, it's difficult to get that and still get the backing that you need and the support that you need. If a big band like Radiohead or Nine Inch Nails goes out and puts out their own music, people are still going to get it. People are still going to buy it. They're still going to see it. But a lot of it is like, you know, knowing, and the reason they did that is because they didn't want to deal with the labels anymore, which I think is awesome that acts that are that big are getting into that. But at the same time, even independent labels are unfortunately getting to the place where, like, no matter what, you're dealing with a record label, you're dealing with a financial entity, you're dealing with a business. Yeah. So like there are a lot of things. Like I recently signed a contract for another band, and we had a lawyer look over it, and there were a bunch of things in there that we didn't want, like intellectual property being owned by them. It stated that we couldn't go record with any other band unless they signed off on it first. And I get that that's a whole part of the business, but I think that even these people that got into it for all the right reasons are now sort of being swayed by all the wrong reasons because of the fact that there's money involved. And when money's involved, it sort of brings this whole new realm, whether, you know, for better or for worse. I think it's just important to know what everything means, and important to educate yourself on what you're reading, what you're getting into, what you're doing, like what everything, like, because, like, you know, when you have that knowledge, you're not going to get yourself into a situation where, you know, the label's like, oh no, sorry, you can't go record solo music unless we sign off on it, and I had no idea what, like, where did that come from.
On that level, like on ownership, like that's a big thing, you know, like starting with Enter the Paradox in the beginning is like a very coordinated effort to make sure that, you know, that we're retaining all ownership. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to be, like, I learned how to record and how to engineer and how to do all that mix for this project literally like seven or 8 years ago, in like 2006. And you know, I still do that. I still record the songs and like mix and engineer them. And that's important for me to know that, like, you know, we're not getting this into the hands of someone else who's going to just claim ownership.
Yeah. There's never been a better opportunity, you know, with IES to really learn more about the business, hear from the top people, and chart your own course. You know, really take this one step at a time, because as we know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You want to build a career, you want to build a catalog, and you want to build fans that are loyal, that'll stay with you. You know, and none of that's easy. And we always find it's best to learn from the people that have been doing it for a long time and are actively involved with top artists and companies right now, and that's what we bring to the table.
That's a big thing with like I always remain teachable when it comes to like the industry. I never try to pretend like I know everything. And like getting humble and listening to other people and how they've done it.
You can always learn.
Always learn. Always, because also too, the industry is constantly changing. Where it was 10 years ago is not where it is today. Similar attributes, but it's continually evolving. So that's why I like to keep my ears open.
That's great.
And IES is a great place to continue to hear how it's evolving.
Sure. Well, it's been our supreme pleasure to have you guys rock the IES Rock Honors and be a part of this, and wish you guys the best of luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.